The functionalist perspective views men and women as having distinct roles that are important for the survival of the family and society. The gendered belief system fosters assumptions about appropriate behavior for men and women.
Women's roles as nurturers and caregivers are more pronounced in contemporary and industrialized societies.
The division of family labor ensures that important societal tasks will be fulfilled.
The division of family labor also provides stability for family members.
Appropriate feminine or masculine behavior is learned through interaction with parents and other caregivers, which could also differ in an unconventional family. This view is adopted by politically conservatives, saying relationships between men and women are damaged when changes in gender roles occur, and family life suffers as a consequence.
Do you, in this agency, allow same-sex couple adoption?
We do not. And it's mainly because one, we're a faith-based organization, but two, there's not one foreign country in the world that will allow, besides the United States is one of the few countries that allows same-sex couples to adopt. So with all of our international programs, they're not allowed to adopt.
Okay. And do you know what the reasons for these restrictions are in the international countries?
You want my honest answer?
Yes.
It's prejudice. They don't believe that unmarried couples who are cohabitating will be able to stay together and support a child. Most foreign countries also believe that children need both a mother and a father, and not two moms or two dads. So they prefer that, or single. Some countries will place with single women. But it's a prejudice against that relationship not being stable.
And so if international countries for some reason did allow it, would your agency allow it as well?
That's a really good question. I don't know. I would not be the person to make that decision. So
yeah,
it's a possibility, but I don't know.
Do you know anyway how the processes differ between adopting with a same-sex couple and heterosexual?
I don't think it would differ in any way, because they're going to go through the same home study and submitting the same kinds of documents and things. From what I understand from agencies that do it, it's a similar process.
And do you know how same-sex couples can go about getting internationally adopted children?
They can't.
They can't?
Mm-hmm. Unless someone else brings the child here first and then they adopt them from that person.
Okay, so it has to be indirect for them to get an internationally adopted child?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you at this agency allow single-parent adoption?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Single women, not single men. I can't think of any international programs that will place with single men. And again, it's a bias against men being able to provide for children, and also that in most cases when you're talking about sex offenders and people who abuse children, they're men. So.
Well,
I have a question. Do you do adoptions within the United States?
We have two domestic programs. One is a foster care program in connection with the state of Oregon, and one is a domestic infant program for African American babies. And we work with a partner agency in Georgia.
So within the United States, same-sex couples are still not allowed to partake in that?
They can.
They
yes.
can?
Mm-hmm. We just as an agency at this point choose not to place with same-sex couples.
Okay.
Because of our faith base.
Right.
Yeah. The state of Oregon, though, just changed their rules, and so we may not be able to do the foster care program anymore if we choose to continue to have that policy.
Oh, so they're not liking that you're not.
Right.
So what did they change the rules to now?
It used to be that agencies could have standards above and beyond what the state required, even in state programs, and now they're saying, no, you have to meet our standards, and you can't have, in relationship to same-sex couples, you cannot have a barrier in place that says they can't adopt. So we'll see.
What about if there was like a single person who was gay or lesbian? Would they be allowed to adopt or be a foster parent if they didn't have a partner?
Yeah, in the United States they would.
Mm-hmm.
Internationally, you have to put in the home study that they have sworn that they're heterosexual.
Okay.
So there is a part in the home study that includes your sexual orientation.
Yeah. Well, it's obvious if you're married, but yeah, if you're a single person or you're two people cohabitating, you have to put in there.
Okay.